Lisa and Ben had been married for many years, but even though they had no child, their love for each other was something the whole village could see. They were always together, talking, laughing, playing and enjoying each other's company. Anyone who saw them would think they had everything in life. Their love was pure, strong and real. Every evening, Lisa and Ben will sit outside their small house under the tree, smiling and telling each other stories. Ben will make Lisa laugh so hard with his funny jokes, and Lisa will gently touch his face and call him sweet names. They looked like two best friends who had found peace in each other. Lisa never allowed the pain of not having a child affect her marriage. She was full of life, full of hope, and full of joy. The only thing she held onto was her husband's deep and unconditional love. It was like a shield that covered her heart from the harsh words of others. But the women in their village were not kind. Whenever Lisa walked through the village square or went to the market, some women would follow her with their eyes. They would whisper, laugh, and sometimes speak out loudly, mocking her. Look at her, barren like a rock. Her husband should have married another woman by now. She is the man in that house. No child, no value. They called her names, pointed fingers and laughed behind her back. But Lisa never broke. She never cried in front of them. She never allowed their bitter words to sink into her soul. Instead, she would raise her head high, smile and walk with dignity. She would say to herself, let them talk. They don't know what I have. I may not have a child yet, but I have something greater, a man who loves me like no other. That is enough for now. My time will come. At home, Ben never made her feel less of a woman. He never shouted at her or blamed her for their childlessness. Instead, he always reminded her that their love was enough and that they would wait for God's time, not man's opinion. Lisa, he would say as he held her hands, you are my blessing. You are more than enough for me. Children will come, but nothing can replace you in my life. And Lisa will smile with tears in her eyes, whispering back, as long as I have you, Ben, I have everything. Despite the mockery, the loneliness, and the secret pain she sometimes felt deep inside, Lisa kept moving forward. She held on to love. She held on to faith. She believed that one day heaven will remember her, but until that day came, she was content in the arms of the man who chose her every day. In the same village where Lisa and Ben lived peacefully, there were two women named Sandra and Joy. These two women were filled with envy and bitterness. They could not understand how a barren woman like Lisa could still be living happily with her husband. To them, it didn't make sense. Every time they saw Lisa and Ben walking together, laughing or holding hands, Sandra's heart would burn with jealousy. Look at her, Sandra would hiss. What is so special about that woman? She doesn't even have a child, yet her husband is still glued to her like a newborn baby. Joy, with her sharp tongue, added quickly, some men don't know what they want until it's too late. Lisa is just holding him hostage. If she really loved him, she would leave him so that real women like us can give him children, even born him a whole village. Sandra laughed loudly and clapped her hands. That man should be mine by now. Can't he see what he's missing? I am fertile like the earth after rain, and you, Joy, your womb is as quick as fire. Together we can build him a future. But their jealousy didn't end with words. That day, under the mango tree near the village stream, the two women sat down and began to plan evil. Sandra, Joy said with a wicked smile, if we continue watching this woman, she will grow old in that man's house and die there as queen. We must do something, something that will break her in public, something that will disgrace her before the whole village. Sandra leaned closer and whispered, "Let's set her up. Let's make it look like she has been cheating on her husband. You know what happens in our village when a woman is caught in adultery." Joy's eyes sparkled. Yes, she will be forced to shave her private parts in the village square while everyone watches and mocks her. No man in this village will ever want her again, not even her own husband. They laughed wickedly, already imagining Lisa kneeling down in shame, surrounded by a mocking crowd. Their hearts were full of hate. That night, Sandra and Joy went from one house to another, secretly spreading rumors. "Did you hear?" Joy whispered to one woman. "Lisa has been meeting strange men behind her husband's back." Sandra told another, "I saw her with my own eyes near the bush path last week, smiling at a man. Ask yourself, what is she doing there when her husband is at home?" Within days, the whispers turned to voices, the voices turned to talk, and the talk turned into serious gossip. Many people in the village began to look at Lisa with suspicious eyes. Some no longer greeted her, others avoided her at the market, and Lisa, though innocent, could feel that something had changed. Ben noticed it too. "Lisa," he said one evening, "something is wrong. The way the villagers now look at us is different. Are you hiding anything from me?" Lisa looked into his eyes, confused. "Hide? Ben, I have never hidden anything from you. You are my only world. Why would I cheat on the only man who stood by me when the whole world mocked me?" Ben believed her, but the storm was only just beginning. Sandra and Joy's final plan was now ready. They had already paid a young man from another village to pretend that Lisa was his lover. They planned to send him into Lisa's compound at night and then raise a false alarm. They were determined to destroy her name and push her out of her home so they could take her place. But little did they know, something greater than their plan was already at work. God was watching. The next day, after their evil meeting, Sandra and Joy went to visit a notorious man in the village, a man known for his wickedness and lack of conscience. They told him about their wicked plan to destroy Lisa once and for all. "Lisa is too comfortable in that house," Joy hissed. "We need her out so we can take her place." Sandra added quickly, "We will pay you. Just find a way to force yourself on her. When it happens, we will pretend to catch you too in the act and raise alarm. The whole village will disgrace her and her husband will have no choice but to send her packing." The man, greedy and heartless, smiled wickedly and took the money. "Consider it done," he said. Days passed and Lisa remained her usual self, peaceful, humble and unaware that evil was lurking nearby. Then one afternoon, while she was deep in the forest fetching firewood, the man appeared behind her. At first, Lisa thought he came to help, but within seconds, he turned violent and began to grab her. "Please leave me alone!" Lisa screamed, struggling and trying to run. "I am a married woman!" But he wouldn't stop. He pushed her down and tried to force himself on her. Lisa cried and shouted, fighting him with all the strength she had left. Right at that moment, Sandra and Joy appeared from the bush, pretending to be shocked. "Ah!" Sandra shouted, "I knew it. Lisa is cheating on her husband." Joy joined in quickly, yelling at the top of her voice, "Come and see, oh! Come and see what this Barren woman is doing in the forest with another man, oh!" Their loud cries attracted many villagers who rushed into the forest to witness the so-called shame. Without asking Lisa anything, they dragged her to the village square. There, in front of the entire community, the village women carried out the traditional punishment. Lisa was forced to shave her private hair in public as a symbol of shame and disgrace. Lisa wept bitterly. Tears poured from her eyes as she knelt there, Feeling like her whole world had collapsed, the crowd mocked her. Some people spat on the ground as they looked at her, but Lisa said nothing. Her heart was broken, but her spirit was still strong. When her husband Ben arrived and saw her, he was silent for a moment. Then he looked around and said in a loud voice, "You all are blind. You have punished an innocent woman. My wife is pure. I know her. She was framed, and you all join in the wickedness." He ran to Lisa and lifted her up from the ground. He hugged her tightly in front of everyone and whispered, "Now I love you even more. You are the sweetest thing in my life, my queen, my treasure. Let the world laugh. I will never leave you." Everyone was shocked. Sandra and Joy stood at a corner waiting for Ben to throw Lisa out, but their plan failed again. Instead of pain, Lisa received more love. Instead of rejection, she was restored. Lisa and Ben returned home, and their love grew even deeper. She felt safe again in his arms, in his words, and in his strength. But the enemies were not done. One day, Sandra, Joy, and the wicked man returned to the forest to plan something even worse. They were angry that Lisa was still standing strong. But as they sat under a tree, discussing their next move, the sky suddenly grew dark. A strange wind blew. The leaves around them began to shake, and the earth rumbled. Before they could stand to run, a mighty thunderbolt struck them down. All three of them, Sandra, Joy, and the wicked man, fell dead in the forest. No one needed to explain what had happened. The village knew God had fought for Lisa. Months later, something miraculous happened. Lisa fell sick one morning. She couldn't eat or walk properly. Her husband rushed her to the village nurse, and after a short examination, the nurse smiled. "Lisa, you are not sick," she said gently. "You are pregnant." Tears rolled down Lisa's cheeks. Ben fell on his knees, thanking God. The home that was once quiet became filled with singing and dancing. The joy was too much to explain. 9 months later, Lisa gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. The whole village gathered to celebrate. Even the same mouths that once mocked her could not say a word. Shame covered them, and Lisa, she just smiled. Her husband pampered her like a queen. He would not allow her lift a finger. He bathed the baby, cooked meals, and cared for her day and night. Lisa's story became a testimony in the whole village. The once barren woman now carried a strong boy in her arms, and the love in their home overflowed like a river. Moral lessons: never mock someone going through pain. God is not asleep. True love is not based on conditions. Real love stands in trials. No matter how long it takes, God's time is always the best. Evil may rise, but truth and light will always win. When you are innocent, leave the battle for God. He fights better than man. Thank you for listening to this powerful and emotional story. If it touched your heart, please like, comment, and share it with someone who needs hope. Never give up, no matter what people say. Remember, your story is not over yet. God is still writing it, and the best part is yet to come. Stay blessed.